WBA, IBF, Ring Magazine, Bantamweight Championships of the World, Jason Mayhem Maloney, Naoya Monster Inoue.
Look, touch him up, touch him up.
The veteran referee, Kenny Bayless, with the up. Maloney, the #1 WBO contender and the current WBC at 118 pounds. And as we mentioned, Inoue, the #3 pound-for-pound fighter, according to. After Andrew lost his title to Joshua Franco, and Franco and Andrew will fight in a rematch October in the middle of November for the Maloney brothers to go home to Australia with
2 rounds. So when you do the math, you would think Inoue is going to win this fight. Jason, one thing that he has to mentally overcome is he feels the timing is right now.
The fight against Rodriguez for Maloney was 2 years ago for the IBF time, and contained Naoya Inoue in the fighter meetings yesterday, saying, I'm going to wait to see what Maloney...
He went through a war with Donaire, and he realized that he had metal that he did not have before.
Orbital bone and fractured his nose, neither of which required surgery. To go to the body more often than he does the face and head. There's a nice left hook to finish the first round from Inoue, who was just trying to feel out his opponent. Yeah, to kind of get his legs back under him, to figure out the strategy that Maloney was going to throw at him. And so
that's what they both did, and Maloney said he was expecting that going into this fight. He wanted to do with the adrenaline rush of being in front of a sold-out stadium in Japan, in his hometown. Noticing specifically so far in this fight with Inoue, he's not as
on the full 12 rounds twice, including his last fight against Nonito Donaire. Landing on the midsection of Maloney. Row, all by way of knockout. All 4 fights were 7 rounds or less, as you see Inoue lunging on the inside and
Rodriguez and Donaire. But when he was in the fighter meetings yesterday with Andre Ward, another winner.
Special place in the hearts and minds and fandom of a lot of these younger fighters. And sometimes, listen, and so to see Andre Ward sitting there to Nobu Ugashima, who's there translating, goes, holy crap, that's Andre Ward.
Lead right hand by Inoue, really putting his power behind it, opening up here in the second stanza.
Yeah, you're reading these distance well.
So right on cue, trainer, to be the right orbital bone of Inoue, which was the one that was injured, and then
times. And when a fighter has that kind of power, they feel they can take anyone out at any time. So he wants to find those.
We talk a lot about his power and his offensive ability, but also very good defensively. So far for Maloney, talks to the elusiveness. Maloney tries to go back to the body. Inoue responds with a left hook. And now a right uppercut.
A lot more shots are connecting. Maloney is open up.
Rounds been able to get inside with any consistency on Inoue, which was the game plan for. And Manuk, Jason Maloney has yet now through 2.5. Maloney coming into this one.
Yeah, the monster is hunting right now. He's putting Maloney on his back foot and tracking him down, charging at him, and essentially controlling the pace and tempo of this fight. Inoue's doing whatever he pleases at this point, but there we go with Maloney with a nice counter right. So Maloney has to find what it is and get there and take it.
Considered the WBA Super World Champion at the Bantamweight division.
Waiting for them to have some belts for boxing media. I'd like to get my hands on one.
Would you be the inner or the rest? Manuk mentioned Inoue looking very comfortable, settling in here in the 3rd round. Seeing some redness around the eyes of Maloney.
You see these punches right here. Everything is there for Inoue for the taking. He's loading up on his punches. He's not real estate to work with. Inoue is cutting the ring off every time he pleases, and Maloney does not have much when he's just working with whatever he can get, which is not much at this moment.
And if you're Maloney, you don't want to be forced into being the counterpuncher. The whole counterpunch, and it's just not working.
Yeah, it's clear that Inoue's power has Maloney.
Idea coming into this fight was trying to bully Inoue on the inside, and right now Maloney has been forced to just react. And
straight right hand, combinations, everything really working for Inoue right now, and he's showing his superior class. But there we go, counter jab has Maloney's attention, and Maloney's afraid to take some risks right now by trying to get inside. Inoue has the advantage, and there we saw again.
Bunches, they say.
Watch your head. Look out.
Sharp.
Inoue respect it.
Well, I think maybe he does, but it's got to come in 2 or 3, 4 punch combinations. It can't just come.
Having some moments, but nothing substantial is really landing to get
these one-off spurts like it does there with the jab. That's a good jab, but you got to follow it up with something and stand right.
There's no way Maloney's going to win this fight with the jab because he needs to do a lot more.
Next 8 rounds, if it goes that far, can he figure out something to go with it? Inoue has commanded the center of the ring. Good 3-punch combination, nearly landing that overhand right. But a flurry in the final 10.
He was getting adjusted to the pace of the fight. He's in his groove right now.
Yeah. Maloney connects with a left hand that forces Inoue to curl up on the ropes. Rounds for Inoue. We're in the 5th right now. He's got to let his hands go. You talked about it. You used the word risk.
Might come to that if Maloney doesn't go to a plan B. He was seeing double after the 2nd round. Imagine going through.
Oh, big right comes in from Inoue.
Maloney looked momentarily hurt right there. That 5 rounds into his 2nd career fight in the United States.
Has to go for a knockout.
Ooh. You saw that head feint there? That was masterful.
And a knockdown. A counter left from Inoue puts Maloney.
The time left into the round.
2 minutes and 15 seconds. Here comes the monster. Another left hand. Maloney backpedaling. 6th round.
Left hook stops Maloney in his track once again.
Left hand to slow down Inoue for a moment by Maloney, but again, still a minute 35 to go here in this. Good left for some of these check hooks in 06 in a round that has already featured a knockdown for Inoue. Maloney opened himself up on the jab and bam! There's that check.
Right on the button. Imagine if he put his in type of potential to come into the United States and create a legacy for himself. And this is only the first.
To be 27 years old and already have 14 world title fights is impressive.
ESPN cards. This is something that is a feather paired with a Terrence Crawford and a Canelo Alvarez. Inoue number 3 on the ESPN pound-for-pound list. Letting Maloney charge him for the first 90 seconds of the round. Perhaps the closest round Maloney has come to winning.
On the pressure as much here in the 7th as he was in the previous couple rounds.
Certainly a couple of miles off the fastball off in this round. Left, perhaps Inoue has another trick in his sleeve.
He definitely seems to be toying with
Maloney's power because he lunges in with some of his shots too. So whatever Maloney has connected with so far.
Get in there with the jab. Easier said than done. Oh, and another knockdown in the final 10 seconds in his top rank ES. And Maloney is done.
To the head. Knockout performance, just what was in store for his script.
With a monstrous right hand, buckling the knees and ending.
Maloney's neck shifts there at a 90-degree angle. What a not
able to get up. So Maloney now 0-2 in his opportunities. 2nd knockdown in the fight. 2nd knockdown in as many rounds, and this time
And you have to hope Maloney's okay, because the way he fell down.
Seems to have his wits about him. Smiles and hugs, and Maloney
Naoya, the